Level 1. The invisible ceiling. Your grandmother kept cash in a coffee can. Not because she didn't trust banks. She did. She just didn't trust herself to not spend it if it lived somewhere she couldn't see it. A Maxwell House tin, red lid, pushed to the back of the cabinet above the refrigerator. Emergency money. Always there. Never growing. Never moving. That image? That was your entire financial education. You didn't even know it at the time. But that tin was the limit of your world. It was a physical representation of a psychological boundary. If you are the first millionaire in your family history, you didn't get there by accident. You got there because you realized that the coffee can was not a safe place. It was a prison. Today, we are going to pull back the curtain on what it actually means to be the first. We aren't talking about the Lamborghinis or the hustle culture that makes for good Instagram reels. We're talking about the heavy, silent, and often painful architecture of building a new starting line. By the end of this video, you will understand the 3 phases of wealth building: the invisible years, the friction of success, and the architecture of generations. And if you're doing this right, you're going to realize that your money is not a tool. It is a weight. A weight you have to learn how to carry. Nobody sat you down and gave you a lecture. Nobody handed you a book called "Here's Why You'll Always Struggle with Money." It was quieter than that. It was the way your mother's jaw tightened when the car made a noise it didn't make yesterday. The way your father changed the subject whenever someone mentioned retirement. The way every conversation about the future eventually hit a wall. An invisible one, made of nothing but habit, history, and the unspoken belief that people like you don't end up with more than people like you started with. You absorbed it. You absorbed the scarcity mindset before you knew what a mindset was. You learned that money was something to be feared, something that disappeared, something that caused pain. You didn't get the school trip permission slip signed because the fee was $12 and it was the wrong week. You wore the same 3 shirts on rotation and got very good at pretending that was a choice. You learned not to ask for things because the look on your parents' faces when you asked was worse than the rejection itself. At this stage, money is not a tool. Money is air. When you are at zero, when you are in the flat years, money is the oxygen you are fighting for. You can't breathe, so you can't think about the future. You are only thinking about the next bill. This is why get-rich-quick schemes work on the poor, because the poor are desperate for air. If you are the first, you have to break this cycle. And the first step to breaking the cycle is realizing that your emotional relationship with money is the biggest liability you have. Every personal finance channel on the internet has shown you the compound interest chart, the one that starts flat and then curves upward into a mountain of money. And every time the message is the same: start early, stay consistent, let compounding do the work. And look, that's not wrong. But it leaves out the most important detail. The chart never labels where you are on it. It shows you year 1 and year 30, and it lets you assume the magic is happening the whole time. It's not. If you invest $500 a month at an 8% return, here is what your first 5 years look like. Year 1, you contribute $6,000, market ads $225. Year 2, market ads $740. Year 3, $1,300. Year 5, you've contributed $30,000 and your total gains are roughly $6,700. 5 years. 5 years of discipline, of meal prepping, of skipping the vacations, of saying no when everyone else is saying yes. And the market has added a number that feels insulting. This is the runway phase. You are laying the pavement. Nobody sees it. Nobody congratulates you for it. Most people quit here. They look at the 6,700 gain and think, this is it? This is the magic? And so they pull their money out. They decide to buy the car instead. They decide to take the trip. When you are the first, you have to realize that these years, the flat years, are the most important years of your life. This is where you are proving to yourself that you value the future version of you more than the present version of you. The builder at 22 has $1,800. The spender at 22 has $1,800. They have the same job, the same desk, the same cracked coffee mug. But at 40, one is a millionaire, and the other is barely holding on. The distance between those two people is not income. It is not intelligence. It is not luck. It is the ability to endure the invisible years where nothing happens. Let's assume you survived the invisible years. You made it. You have the net worth. You are the first millionaire. And now, you hit the friction of success. You might think that having money solves all your problems. It doesn't. It just changes the kind of problems you have. When you were at zero, your problems were scarcity. How do I pay rent? When you are at $1 million, your problems are friction. How do I say no to my family? How do I handle the requests for money? How do I keep this without becoming the person I swore I wouldn't be? The attorney's name is Grayson. He has a mahogany desk. He hands you a trust transfer. Your grandmother died 11 days ago, and suddenly you have $983,000 in an account. This is a common story in the first journey, the windfall. But let's look at the real math. Most people who inherit 1 million go to broke in 3 years. Why? It's not just bad spending, it's virtuous bad spending. You help your mother. You believe in your brother's business idea. You try to upgrade the family home. You make every mistake with the sincere intention of doing the right thing. Money measures decisions, not intentions. This is the hardest pill to swallow. Your intentions were pure. You wanted to lift your family up, but you didn't lift them up. You just delayed the inevitable because you didn't have a plan. You had a bank account, not a strategy. If you are the first, you have to be the villain. You have to be the one who says no to the things that feel right, so you can do the things that are right. You have to protect the principle. You have to be the gatekeeper. That is the friction. Here's the thing nobody tells you about being the first. You don't just break the ceiling for yourself. You remove it entirely for everyone who comes after you. They'll never know it was there. They'll look up and see open sky and assume that's just what the sky looks like. Unlimited, obvious, available. They won't know about the years you stared at the underside of something most people in your family never thought to question. Let's talk about the trap. The trap is the aesthetic of wealth. The cars, the watches, the designer gear. We have 4 people, Robert, Karen, Marcus, and Zoe. They are from 4 different decades, yet they all fell into the same trap. They prioritized, looking arrived over being arrived. If you are the first, you cannot afford the look of wealth. You have to be the foundation. The rule is simple: assets first, lifestyle second. Every time. Not forever. Just until the assets are doing enough work that the lifestyle is genuinely paid for. Most people flip this. They buy the lifestyle first, thinking it will motivate them to build the assets. It's the dream car mistake. You're 25. You buy the Camaro. You feel like you've made it. But you're paying $947 a month on a car that is losing value every second you drive it. You weren't buying a car. You were buying legitimacy. You were buying the right to take up space. But the legitimacy you were looking for doesn't live in the car. It lives in the brokerage account you neglect. It lives in the spreadsheet you refuse to fill out. At 30, you look back at the 25-year-old you. You realize that you didn't need the car. You needed a better question. The car told everyone where you wanted to go, but the account you neglected told the truth about whether you'd ever get there. Now, let's get into the hard, cold, undeniable math. The crossover. The crossover is the point in time where your assets generate enough income to cover your life expenses. Most people never reach it because they treat debt as a lifestyle and interest as a subscription fee. Meet Diana. She is 34. She has a good job, a nice apartment. She is responsible. But she carries $23,000 in credit card debt and $28,000 in student loans. Every month, she pays the minimum. She thinks she's doing fine. Meet Daniel. Same city, same income. But 3 years ago, he cleared every single debt. He didn't earn more money. He just stopped paying interest to other people. By year 10, the gap between Diana and Daniel is $200,000. By year 20, it's over $500,000. The gap isn't intelligence. It's the absence of $1,200 a month leaving their accounts. When you are the first, you have to be the one who does the math. You have to stop looking at the monthly payment and start looking at the lifetime cost. When you buy a house, you aren't just looking at the mortgage. You're looking at the property tax, the maintenance, the opportunity cost of the down payment. When you lease a car, you aren't looking at the low monthly payment. You're looking at the fact that you are renting a depreciating asset while someone else is investing that same $223 difference. The math is the only thing that doesn't lie to you. You didn't do this for a trophy. You didn't do this for the recognition. You didn't do this for a version of yourself that can look back and say, "I told you so." You did this because you were the only one who could. You built this out of nothing, out of a coffee can and a tight jaw and a family that loved you inside, the only walls they knew how to build. You took the invisible ceiling and you made it the floor. The view from here is nothing like you imagined. It's heavier, quieter, more real, and you wouldn't trade it for any version of easier. Being the first is a responsibility. You have removed the ceiling for the next generation. They'll never know it was there. They'll look up and see open sky, and they will assume that's just what the sky looks like. They won't know about the 3 a.m. moments. They won't know about the failed attempts. They won't know about the specific loneliness of a milestone with no reference point. And that's exactly right. That's the whole point. You didn't do this for you. You did this so the next one doesn't have to start where you started. That's what generational wealth actually is. It's not a number. It's a different starting line. Subscribe to the channel. We break down the math that actually matters, so you can keep building. I'll see you in the next one.